This is Yes, Your Grace. It reminds me a little bit of the game Reigns, which I really like. It's the same basic concept where you play a monarch who has to make decisions about how you're going to keep your kingdom running. But whereas Reigns feels a lot more like a very sort of a simple card game, with a very thin layer of story over it, this game is much more invested in the story. I've only played a little bit of it, just enough to get the basic concept, and actually, I think I'm going to restart from scratch, just so we can sort of see the whole thing from the beginning. Though I wanted to start with that main menu because the soundtrack is so good. I wanted to make sure everyone got to hear it. So, click on the petitioner to call them forward. This is Audrey. It is time, Your Grace. Click on the throne to step down. I better put on the crown. Okay, there's my inventory. Wear it, yes. You can leave any room by walking to the edge of the screen and selecting the doors. I guess that's what I need to do. Oh, here's a map of my castle, so click on the castle wall to go there. So you can already see that this game is structured, at least on its surface, a lot like an adventure game. But the sort of the mechanics of being a ruler kick in after I sort of start getting to know the characters. Your Grace, a deserter found one of ours hiding in a shed. Shed? Why would you do this, Sobek? There's too many of them. We have no chance of winning. If you let him off, the rest may follow. However, our army is sparse as it is. We need every set of hands to be able to hold a sword, Your Grace. So, So this is probably executing him. This is tolerating him. Let's be a kind ruler. With courage, we will defeat the enemy, no matter the odds. Let him loose, General. Go and stand for Davern. Thank you, Your Grace. Over here, Your Grace. How bad is it, General? Our men are scared. It's the middle of the night, and yet it's so bright as if Svarog himself walked our lands. The thin walls won't last long. We lack any solid defense measures. We don't have enough men. Once they get in, we have nothing we can throw their way. Can you hear the chanting? They're getting ready. We'd better get started. I've gathered the archers from all the other walls. They're awaiting you at the wall, Your Grace. There's still time to put up white flags. All right. Yeah, that looks pretty bad. Put up a white flag. Not gonna do that. All right. My brothers, we stood together through the worst times. We've proved our strengths in many battles, and today we will prove it again. I might have picked the wrong night to be reading subtitles, because I am half asleep and I'm going to be screwing up every single sentence, so just get used to that. My bravest men, I bid you to fight for all you hold dear. For Davern! Yeah, let's arrow everybody. Yes, Your Grace. One year earlier. So you get a taste of the kind of danger you're going to be in, but actually you start the story earlier than that. 3, 2, 1. Okay, here I come. Oh, you know I'm not playing with you, darling. The sun finally came out. Let me enjoy it. You found me. Well done, Father. Come on now, Lursulia. It's not often we can do this. I told you I don't want to play. Aren't you too old for this? Lursulia, there's no way to speak to your father. Lursulia's a stick in the mud. Shut it, Azalea. I can see you from miles away. Got you. Shouldn't have insulted your sister from across the gardens. She always has to ruin everything. She's so proud she couldn't even find a place to hide. I wasn't even trying to hide. I don't want to play. Next time you don't want to play, maybe try writing a formal announcement. Oh wait, you can't write. Of course I can, you nitwit. Cut it out, both of you. Lorsulia is such a dumpling. Just let me enjoy the sun, Eric. I'm staying here while I can. Okay, so don't chase her out the door. What else can I do here? Oh, who's this? And here's the little one. No! I was doing so well. You must have cheated. Or peeked. I demand another trial of the game. How official. Maybe next time, Sedani. Forgive me, Your Grace. I hate to interrupt, but your subjects will soon arrive. Alright, enough games. The throne awaits. Okay, so now I think we're going to get into sort of the meat of what this game is about. And Awesome Twitch Dude, I'm not going to give you spoilers about State of Decay 2. The petitioners will start queuing in a moment, Your Grace. We really need to shorten the visiting hours. Okay, so you get this line of petitioners, including Aurelia. Can you go and speak with Lorsulia, my dear? I tried talking to her, but she just won't respond. I don't know what's got into her recently. Maybe she'll open up a bit more to you. She's probably wandering about at the wall. Of course, my sweetness. Well, that was easy. Didn't even give me a choice. Obviously, I'm going to say yes to that one. Your Grace, I bring bad news. The recent rains have soaked through our roofs. The pantry roof has collapsed, as well as some walls of our dungeon. Only one cell is currently functional. We should really fix those things before they get worse. Otherwise, we'll keep losing supplies. You'll see the required fixes in your weekly summary at the end of the week. So when you meet people and talk to petitioners, your advisor makes a note about the encounter in your archives. You can see all the entries by clicking on the archives button below. Your Grace, my daughter's wedding is at hand. Congratulations. The problem is, we don't have enough gold or supplies to make a worthy feast. What will my daughter's in-laws think of our family? We want to hire a band, buy some of that fancy wine for the market. We would only need 5 gold and 5 supplies. So I have, what is this, 30 gold and 20 supplies? So that's dipping pretty deep into our stores, but I don't have a super good sense of how important these stores are, how fast they get replenished. So, you know what? Party down. You can't have a marriage without the music and something to kill the thirst. Oh yes, the thirst's the worst. We'll show these peasants what a real feast looks like. Ha ha! Finally, this guy. Your Grace, I come here representing my village. We want to ask you for 7 gold to help us gather tools and resources required to build an inn. We could really use a new place to rest after a long day of work. Sure. Bunch of gold. Whatever. I don't understand the value of money in this game. Oh, we surely will. Thank you, Your Grace. Well, saying yes to everyone is pretty easy. Monsters! Beasts dressed in black! They came in the night, unseen, unheard until they arrived. They attacked my village. We heard the dreadful screams of the slain. Your Grace, I beg you, you must send your men. Check what happened. Find those responsible. Who are they? Bright red heads, short but sharp fangs. Hundreds of them. Gleaming metal for their claws. We've never seen anything like this. Who are they? Oh, it's the same message? Well, okay. Sure, we'll send somebody. The general should deal with these bandits easily. Thank you, Your Grace. Okay, so click the glowing flower to advance to the next week once you're ready. Sometimes you'll need to see your family members before you can advance. So... Alright, so how do I stop? Oh, here we are. Click on the throne. And walk off. Right, can I just go this way? Here we are. Okay, so... Looks like there's little gems everywhere. So green conversations are optional, but the blue one is the important one. So I guess I'll save the blue one for last and go for the green ones first. Oh yeah, awesome Twitch dude. I did see that deal about there being like 700 indie games available for sale to support some important charities right now. Unfortunately, I really get overwhelmed by the sheer number of games in front of me sometimes. So I may well donate to a charity, to a similar charity. I don't think I'm going to try. I don't think I'm going to add that stress to my life of owning 700 games I haven't played yet. All right, so I'm going to come talk to this person. Azalea. Who was that? My middle daughter? Yes, father? What is the matter with you two? You and Lorsulia used to be best friends. You mean, why is Lorsulia such a big baby? This is the kind of thing I mean. She's annoying is all. Insulting your sister won't make the situation better. She'll just get more resentful as time goes by. Ugh, but it's so hard. I'm sorry, Father. I won't do it again. So, that reminds me so much of conversations I've had with my actual children. like specifically saying, you know, this fight with your sister seems so important right now, but eventually you're going to be adults, and you're going to want to be friends at that point in your life. So don't ruin it now. And that's actually an argument that in the past has seemed to resonate. Awesome Twitch Dude asks if I have any pets. Me personally, no. My kids have kind of a menagerie of small animals. We got a bird, a rabbit. We've had a turtle and a couple of hamsters before, and some fish. So it's mostly the bird and the rabbit these days. Oh yeah, the dungeon. Let's see the state of things. Is this water all over the floor? Damn it, this is worse than I thought. The recent downpours have damaged a lot of buildings, Your Grace. While we still have space for prisoners, we should focus on buildings that need more attention. I've had the scribe write a list of things that need to be fixed. You'll see this in your weekly summary, Your Grace. Sounds like it's going to be costly. Yes. So who's this? By all the gods, that could have been me. Your Grace, do you see what happened here? So I think he's talking about the roof having collapsed over here. If I was in that other cell, I would have been crushed. This is a sign. The gods have forgiven my sins. I shall serve the mighty ones. I will dedicate my life to those in need. I mean, if I could get out of here, please? Why are you in here again? Oh, I bumped into the innkeeper on the street and stepped on his toe? How dare you tell such falsehoods? He ordered a gallon of beer, drank it all by himself, and didn't even have the gold to pay for it. I know the innkeeper. He was pretty upset. Oh, yeah, I think I remember. Your Grace, I've been enlightened. I won't ever do such a stupid thing again. I will serve a higher purpose now. Just maybe let me out? So, I mean, does he need to be in there a week for not paying for his beer? Seems like a lot. I mean, he does seem like a giant jerk, you know, who's probably going to do this again, but, I mean, you're not going to lock him up for life, right? So, yeah, let's be an absolute weakling of a leader and just say yes to everything. I hope you learned your lesson. You may leave. What? Really? The gods have truly chosen me. I will go and spread their wisdom. Thank you, Your Grace. Our paths will cross again. I can feel it. Yeah, I've got a sense he's going to do something bad. Alright, well, let's get out of here. And now the castle wall. Well, now I know exactly where to go. Oh, it's you. Do you want to talk about what happened in the gardens? No. I'm fine, Father. Why won't you talk to me? Everything's fine. Don't you have things to do? I don't know what your sister learned to be so rude. You used to find the best spots, remember? Maybe I'm not 5 anymore. Okay, I'll leave you to it. Sure. Can I open the gate? It's very old. Anyone with some strength could probably just barge through it. Well, that doesn't bode well for the future. Alright. I think I've done everything. So wait. Now what? I've had the conversations. Oh, this. I think this is the button that progresses time. This is your weekly summary screen. Here you'll be able to see your kingdom's weekly income and expenses. You can buy upgrades and fixes for the castle in the left section. To buy an upgrade, simply click the button with the upgrade name, and you'll see the cost added to the summary. Okay, so... So these are my okay, so I make 11 and 8 each time. I already gave up some for the folks that showed up in the throne room. Okay, so people are sad because of the broken theater. I'm going to be losing supplies because of the broken pantry roof. And Stan General? I'm not quite sure what that stands for. Just because I stan the General so much. Okay, so if I use 15 supplies... So, okay, I'm making a profit on supplies, just barely. If I use 15 of them to repair the market stall... That'll increase my income. Or I can remove this penalty, but I can't do both because I spent so much gold just giving it out to whoever showed up in my throne room. So I felt generous in the throne room, but now I'm kind of over a barrel because I can't do both of these fixes at once. So I think I'm going to skip the market stall for now, and I'll skip the theater because we got 17 contentment. I'm assuming that's okay. So I think we'll start with the pantry roof to just stop bleeding supplies. Oh, wait a minute. These are 2 different resources. These are not both gold. This is gold and supplies. Okay, since I'm no longer going to lose those supplies, I think I've got enough to do this. And I got barely enough to do the theater too, but I don't know what else we might need gold for. Because... We'll get some back. I think we can live without repairing the theater for now, so that's what I'm going to go with. Grevno, week 2. So Awesome Twitch Dude asks, why do game developers stop including cheat codes with games? You know, that's a good question. I don't think there's an easy answer for it. I think, games are certainly very different now than they were back when cheat codes were really common, when they were on little, consoles and stuff. And, yeah, you know what? I'm really not certain. I could imagine that maybe developers actually used the cheat codes while they were testing the game. And they didn't have, like right now, we have, multiple alternate builds of the game, and certain ones have different features turned on and off. And so the build that we ship out to the public doesn't have our cheat menu in it and doesn't have the ability to bring up the console and enter commands and stuff like that. But the version that we test on does have all those tools. And so I could imagine that maybe back in the day they didn't have the ability to differentiate those builds, and so if the developers wanted to have cheat codes to test the game, then they needed to actually ship or at least put the cheat codes in such a way that it would be easier to ship them than to take them out. I could imagine that being true, and then once we developed, more complex development practices, maybe it just stopped being standard operating procedure. I'm making that up off the top of my head, though. That could easily not be the case. It could be that, the development environment back then was just as, complex as it is today. They had all the same power to remove cheat codes, and they just didn't, because they thought it would be fun to leave those in there. Another thing is cheat codes are kind of invisible and kind of not that easy to use, and so it doesn't really mar the experience at all to have them exist in the game and nobody knows about them, or only a few people know about them. the kinds of cheats we use now are not as simple as just entering a code in a controller. It's usually they involve kind of a weird, ugly temp UI and stuff like that, and it's kind of awkward. And so a lot of times we won't ship it just because it doesn't make the game look very good. And so if we want to be able to say that if somebody makes the game look bad, it's because they modded the game, or maybe because it's a bug we can fix. We don't necessarily want to ship something obvious with the game that just looks really strange. So there are a few that still do it. Like, I mean, games that let you bring up the console, like The Sims, for instance, is one that still uses cheat codes. So they haven't gone away entirely. Anyway, so this is week 2. Gotta listen to some folks. Your Grace, no sign of the monsters. We did stumble upon these bandits, though. They were pillaging the village. Red head, sharp teeth, a crest of Radovia? I thought you could only find them in the books and old manuscripts. Well, it seems like we have one right here, too. Tell me. Is it true that you're from Radovia? Your man is right. Radovia is my home. And soon yours, too. Ha! What were you and your men doing near the village? We're just making a living. One man might call it plunder. I would call it hard work. Do you have a king? Or are you just a barbaric thief? We're a free people. We don't bow to kings or lords. Bold words for someone trespassing in another country. Bold and stupid. Your Grace, we cannot allow barbarians to stock our lands, plundering and killing innocent men. There's no question that justice needs to be dealt with this one. Okay, so I've made room in the dungeon, so I can throw him in there, maybe interrogate him later. You'll rot in a cell. Don't want to let me go, but you don't have the guts to kill. My friends will gladly hear about your cowardly decisions. I need to see Aurelia about this. Yeah, you can call me cowardly all day. I'm not going to be a barbarian like you. I'm here representing the Baked Florentini, Your Grace. I hear that your treasury's been seen better times, but I'm here to help. How does this all work again? We understand that sometimes it's hard to be a king, and we want to do our best to help. We offer quick and easy solutions to give you a surge of gold or supplies, whichever you might have need of. Our exclusive package offers 50 gold or supplies instantly available for your use. The bank only adds a small fee of 10 gold or supplies, depending on the type of loan. It's paid off in a weekly amount of 10 until you pay off your debt, Your Grace. We won't charge you any additional costs. Oh, last thing to note, we only do one type of loan at a time. So if you want to borrow gold, we can't lend supplies until the first loan is repaid, and vice versa. I like when characters just sit down and talk to each other about the game mechanics. And remember, the first loan is free of charge. You just pay back what you take. I mean, I don't have a ton of either thing, but I don't know what I'm going to need, so I think I'll just say that's it for now. The Baked Florentini is always happy to help. Watch me need that money as soon as he leaves. I bring news, Father. Azalea sneaked out at night last week. I ran into her when she was going back to her chamber, all laughing and a little tipsy, I think. She wouldn't say where she'd been, but Sedani, as thick as she is, spilled everything to me in the morning. Those two chit-chat all the time. They think I don't realize. Thick? Don't speak ill of your sister. What's got into you, Lord Sulia? Azalea sneaks out to some wedding, gets all drunk, but I'm the bad one all of a sudden? Audrey, did you know about any of this? No, Your Grace. I better talk to Azalea about this. You girls are going to drive me mad one day. Your Grace, my dear son is nowhere to be found. Yes, a really daft little boy, but still, he is my son. I ask you to help us find him. Your Grace, is there a chance you could do so? Okay, so the general can go away for 2 weeks. Or I can give them gold. I'm running low on gold. Let's send the general. But I'm sure as soon as I do this, there's going to be a different thing that's more attractive that the general needs to do. Alright. Hope he's still in one piece. My name is Etten. I'm the Lord of Branca, Your Grace. I'll be as straightforward as possible. Someone has kidnapped my daughter, and they expect me to pay 12 gold to get her back. The thing is, I tracked them down, and I know where they're keeping her. I've planned everything out. Just need your general to help me take her back. Right? So there we go. Or I could just pay the ransom. Either way, I need your help, Your Grace. Okay, so I could double promise the general, or give him gold, which I can't afford. So I'm gonna piss off a lord for the sake of helping a peasant. You know, there's worse things. My general is occupied and my gold is running low. I wish you the best of luck getting your daughter back. And I wish you never find yourself in a similar situation. Keep your daughters safe, Your Grace. Well, that's quite a threat. Alright. Oh, man. People are sad. Your Grace, I fear for my life. I think someone's trying to get me. What's going on? I think someone is following me. They want me dead. Who's they? I don't know! How would I know? I haven't done anything, right? I better be going. It's interesting. What do you make of this, Audrey? Radovians here? How would they get through the mountains? Why would they threaten a war? It's a lot of questions, but I still need answers, Audrey. Forgive me, Your Grace, I'm just puzzled. It might be reasonable to start thinking about renewing some old treaties. Talk to old friends. See who could give us a hand. With our current resources, a war could bring certain defeat. I'll make some preparations. I hope I'm not dependent on that one lord I just pissed off for an alliance. Awesome Twitch dude asks if 2020 is the worst year ever. Well, it's certainly a pretty bad year for us. I'm pretty sure that if you go back far enough, you start running into some pretty bad years, though. I hear 1918 was pretty bad. Alright, so let's go green first. Here we are in the dungeons, and here's this guy. I didn't think a king would come down to the dungeons. An honor, truly. Tell me what you know. Why are you here? I suppose that's one way of killing time in this murky den. You see, Bayron the lunatic thinks everyone will follow him. Ha ha! Keeps raving about some promise. One of the 7 kings will give him his daughter. He thinks he's got a chance at mingling with the royals. I still can't decide. Is he the mad one, or is it his followers who believe this bunk who are really insane? Okay, so he thinks he's going to marry my daughter. So, I'm not looking forward to how complicated that gets. Okay. Gardens, and then let's go bedchamber. It's a fancy bedroom. Darling? Radovians have come to Davin. One of their bases was, their bases? Yeah, I really cannot read tonight. One of their bandits was brought to the castle. Radovians? That can't be right. Do you think it's about our promise? I'm afraid it is. Oh no, is this going to be something like in The Witcher? Is this going to be like, I've promised my daughter to some barbarian king and now he's come to collect? The bandit's in the dungeon. I already questioned him. It cannot be. Eric. Well, he said so himself. How would he know? 13 years ago, we promised our unborn child's hand to a thug. Bayron, wasn't it? Does it matter? After 13 years, a Radovian shows up in our castle. I'll be damned. Yes, Nosulia will soon become a woman. We need to find her a husband. And Bayron, the villain, will arrive to make me fulfill my promise. How could we have promised our daughter's hand to a Radovian? With a knife to my throat, I'm not sure what else we could have done. To think our daughter would marry some barbaric thug, though. We can't let this happen, Eric. Don't worry, we'll solve this. Do you remember the curse? I don't even want to think about this. Let's just hope the curse is nothing but a hoax, and see how things with a thug will turn out. What are we going to do? If Bayron ever shows up to claim our daughter's hand, hopefully no one will believe him. We just need to play stupid. Unless he shows up with an army. Don't be silly now. How could a commoner afford an army? Even we can't. How could Radovians get to Davin? Anything seems possible at this stage. You did send the bandit to the dungeons. I already told you I did, Aurelia. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, darling. It's just too much to think about. I don't know. It's so unreal. Marry a prince, a lord even, yes, but let her marry a thug? We can't do this. It'll be fine. I won't let them take her away. I'm terrified. I can handle this. Fine, I'll stay here. Oh, I'm getting so sleepy. Alright, is this going to be Lusulia? Oh, nope, it's Azalea. Yes, father? I heard there was quite a fine wedding in the village just outside our walls. Considering the resources you spent to help them out with it, it definitely was. So I wonder, if I hadn't helped them with that wedding, would she not have snuck out? Sounds as if they had the honor of a royal guest. No, of course not. I heard what people say is all. Come on now, I know about the wedding. Norsulia told me what happened. How would she know, anyway? Oh, of course, Sidani. Sidani. I wouldn't forgive myself if something happened to you. You have no need to worry, nothing will happen. Do you know what's out there? What could have happened if someone found a princess by herself in the village? All the drunkards, thugs. Nothing happened, father. I was dressed differently. I was careful. I'm not stupid. I know what I'm doing. All I wanted was a little rum. Lorsulia said you got drunk? That's a lie. I know what I'm doing. I can take care of myself. How many times? Ugh, Lorsulia. Since she turned 13, she thinks you'll make her marry some fat, dumb prince and send her off to another castle. If she intends to be such a lousy rat, maybe it'd be for the best. Is that why she's been acting up lately? I suppose so. It doesn't change the fact that she's just infuriating. And it doesn't change the fact that you didn't stop with the name-calling. You're confined to the castle. You will not be visiting the market. What am I supposed to do inside all these godforsaken walls? Ugh, stupid Lorsulia. I'll teach her a lesson. Stop with the names. I better talk to Lorsulia. Oh, flowers? What? Oh, lost them. Ugh. Man. I don't know if you can see, like, giant bags under my eyes, but that's how it feels, because it's so late at night. I'm all sleepy and bedraggled. They did just barely open up haircut salons in Seattle, so I'm pretty close to being able to actually make this thing a little bit less crazy. Anyway, here's Lorsulia and some cat. Oh, it's you. Azalea told me why you might be feeling a bit down recently. I think your mother and I had started to figure it out anyway. I'm sorry we didn't realize earlier. Oh, and why is that? I mean, it seems from the flashback, the flash forward at the beginning, that I must have done this. So let's just go with it. One thing that has been interesting about the game so far is that there's a lot of places where you could imagine a game giving you a choice about how you respond, but my character doesn't. My character actually has a defined personality. I'm making strategic choices about how to manage my kingdom, but you could justify the strategic choices in any number of ways. So, a lot of the ones that I tried, I specifically was having altruistic thoughts when I did it, but you could also interpret them as being strategic thoughts to try to keep the people happy or whatever. But in those cases, I have a lot of control. But in the other cases, the relationship with the family and stuff like that, I don't get to just be whatever king I want. I am this particular king with his relationships with his kids. Tradition says a girl your age needs a husband, but I promise you won't have to marry a stranger. We'll make sure that we know the prince well before the wedding. Time will show. Okay, so I think I just made her a promise that hopefully I can keep later. I'm really not sure. Alright, well, I guess we're done, actually. Okay, so I assumed that I would click these and... Okay, so this is just... These are things I've already done. I thought they wouldn't appear in the next list, but it looks like they do. So I can spend 10 to repair the theater, which will give me... Oh, to remove the contentment penalty, but it won't give me any kind of advantage. So really, I'm just gaining 3 gold each turn, and most things cost significantly more than that. And so the 10 on the theater is still a bit much, but I am bleeding contentment. I guess let's just go empty the coffers. I'm a great king. Grevno, week 3. Okay, maybe I do need a loan. I guess the first one's cheap. Yep, let's take it. Okay, so we got 53 gold now, which is way more than before. But I'm going to be losing 10 each turn, so it's not really that much. That's it. Get up here, peasant. Your Grace, injustice and hunger have struck our village. Men dressed in black came and took our stock. Hardly anything left worth giving to the dogs now. I wanted to kindly ask for 7 pieces of gold. Or 5 sacks of supplies, Your Grace. That way we can at least keep our children fed. Okay, well, even though the gold's a larger amount, I have more gold. Of course, I'm going to have to pay a lot of it back over time. But going 4 over the limit, I can pay that back because I think I'm earning approximately 2 or 3 per week? So let's go ahead. Alright, merchant. I come with a business proposition, Your Grace. I need 12 gold to hire men and buy resources to build a new tavern in Branca. See, the tavern will serve as more than just a way to get locals drunk. The village is really well positioned. It has many visitors, but they never stay for long. A new tavern will change that and guarantee a steady income. I'll share the profits once we start making money at the business. Alright, so if I get enough of a benefit from this, it could pay for itself. Let's try it. I don't think I can spend any more gold after this, though. Oh, wonderful. You won't regret it, Your Grace. I'll get right to work. 8 solid tables, 13 beds. We can make a cheaper shared chamber. Oh, it's going to work well. And a peasant. Your Grace, a disease is crawling in our village. It's nothing serious, I don't think, but fevers and sneezes are all over the place. It appeared out of nowhere, as if a dark force brought it upon us. Sounds like Redovia has just brought us something other than just steel. Okay, so I think I'm making supplies at a steady clip, so let's give them supplies instead of the gold I've been giving it everybody else. Make sure everyone has access to what they need. Thank you, Your Grace. We're beyond content. I hope that the spirits will keep you well. And we're done with that. Alright. Oh, is there still something to do in the throne room? What? Can you talk to Audrey? Tell me about the kingdom? No, that doesn't seem like it's relevant. What else do I need to do? Dear Eric, we've crossed the mountains. We'll come for what was promised. For the gods have graced us with their strength. Bayron, king of Redovia. Great. So yeah, that king knows that we've got a daughter for him. Where there's a king, an army follows. What promise are they babbling on about anyway? What? How? You never mentioned it, Your Grace. I didn't think I'd have to keep my word. We can't let barbarians seize the throne. Our treasury's low, but we can always seek allies. I'll let you get on with the audits, and I'll make some preparations in the meantime. I'll be in the council chamber, Your Grace. Alright, there we go. Oh, we've got multiple conversations in here. I assume Sidani can possibly be the real one. Hey there. Potato head? No! I have a normal head. Yes, a normal potato. Ugh. Your Grace. Bye. See you later, potato head. Ah, wait a minute. Huh. Okay. Your Grace, I appointed a scout. He'll let us know what we're up against. Meanwhile, we should invite King Talus. He might be able to help. I'll just click on the Allies tab. We can talk to nearby lords. But let's invite Talus. A few details of each. Okay, so invite. With his army, we should be able to repel Redovia. No matter where they come with. Wait, no matter what they come with. I can't read. I actually am probably going to have to wrap this up really soon because I'm getting to the point where I literally can't read. And that's a little much. Awesome Twitch 2 says, don't fall asleep on stream. I'll record it for YouTube. And Turbomoth threatens to make a gif of it, of me falling asleep. I practically did just there. When I misread that sentence so badly, that was me practically falling asleep. Alright, well, I don't have time to look at bookshelves, so let's get out of here. Oh, and that actually looks like everything. Okay, well, let's go back then. And end the week and see what happens. Alright, so I've bought all the upgrades I can. My money is... Okay, so now I'm owing these payments to the bank. And then I'm making about 4 gold. So if I keep making 4 gold and losing 10, what I'm actually going to lose is 6. So I'm going to lose 4 more doses of 6. That's 24. So I can't go... I've got to stay above 24 at least next turn. But we've reached a stopping point. I think you can get a sense of what kind of game this is. You know, there's a lot of sort of this, conversational storytelling you get from an adventure game, and you've got an inventory, which I haven't really used yet. So, there's a lot of possibilities for where that could be going. So I think thinking about this as an adventure game is pretty apt, but it's like an adventure game where you take a break to play a game of Reigns in between. And then I assume that what happens with those little tiny stories, as you make these choices and they have consequences, I think they're going to come back and make a big difference at the end of the game. So at least that's what I intuit from what I'm seeing so far. So anyway, I will save and quit. And we will wrap up this video. And now I gotta decide if I'm just gonna go right to bed or if I'm just try to play something more action-packed to wake me up. Maybe I'll save it for tomorrow.